Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So have you ever had one of those days, sister, where it's like your thoughts are running away from you? In other words, you start to think about something that you're stressed about, worried about, it's painful, it's sad, it's whatever. You feel guilt about it, you feel shame, you're embarrassed, you're like, whatever. It's something that you take a small little piece. Maybe it's a conversation that triggers a memory. Maybe it is and by the way, a memory is always that past thing that we're just reliving over and over and over and over and over, the subconscious programming that we don't even know that we're running on. So a little conversation that triggers a reminder of something, and it spins you back to that place as if it just happened. So I shared this on a podcast a while back, but my son Tyson, my oldest son Tyson, he lost his beloved blankie at this carnival that happens in our town each year. It's called the Oak Bay Tea Party. We live in Oak Bay, which is a community in Victoria, BC, Canada, and it's right across the street from us. And so we moved into this house that we're in now. What happened, it was like, oh, this is the carnival stuff. So what happened on the first day is Tyson took his blankie with him. Okay. He's had this blankie since he was a baby. Like, it is everything. And if you have kids, or even if not, you've got friends who have kids and you're an auntie, or for the men you're listening, you're an uncle, and or maybe your little brothers and sisters. For some kids, it's like that blankie, it's comfort, right? It's almost like it's a way for them to soothe, right? A way for them to feel calm and relaxed. And it's, we've never been with Tyson because he's 8.5, kind of be like, oh, you're too old for that. It's like, no, if that's something that soothes him and calms him and he's figured that out, good for him, right? Nothing wrong with that. So what happened is we were on the rides and he had the blankie with him. And then we came home and I went, Tyson, or I know what it was. I think it was then bedtime, and he goes, where's Blankie? And I go, I don't know. You brought him to the carnival. And then it was this sinking feeling where I'm like, oh my God, he left it there. So I think it was still going on. We went across the street to see if someone, it was not there. So he's crying. We went the next day, the day after that. Even after that, the local police, I guess, then if there's anything that's still left, it goes to there, and it was gone. Right now, I didn't find one that was the exact replacement. It was close. Looked for a while, because this is one from, at the time, 7 years prior to that, right? When it was purchased as a gift from a friend of mine. Tyson was an infant, so what happened is that then, Tyson was like, okay, here's the lesson. Now we're dealing with loss. It's not of be responsible, you shouldn't, it's none of that stuff. It's just okay, he's going to deal with loss. He's also going to deal with that, there's a solution. So the solution is we found one that was similar, and we're going to call that Blankie now. And he, that fit for him. But I found that every once in a while, if he would be triggered by things, and it came up again recently because of the carnival, this is where he lost it a year ago, that he talks about it and relives it like it just happened. Like it just happened. Actually, as if it's still happening. That's the more true statement. He would talk about it as if it's still happening. Now, he's 8.5, right? And so I would talk to Tyson now of Tyson, I know you feel sad, right? But I also said, listen, there's a time, then we're just going to have to we have to learn to let this go. We have to really choose to not let this keep affecting us. We can still feel that little twinge of sadness or oh, Blankie was so good, right? But to be wrapped right into it from a situation that happened a year ago still, right? Now again, yes, he's a younger dude, but listen, how many of us do that? How many of us do that? It could be a physical thing. You had a car accident or a fall. It could be a relationship thing. It could be with your kids. It could be about your health. But you put yourself back in that same place. So this is part of the subconscious programming where it's not real, by the way. It's a memory. But yet you're choosing to be in that memory, and it's just you've now brought the past into the present. But yet the past is the past. It's not real. Your thought is creating all of that. All of the anxiety, all the stress, the pain, the sadness, the whatever the stuff is. So we know this, right? We know that consciously, cognitively, intellectually, we'll go, yeah, thoughts are things. And when I think about things, right? Like, so here's an example, right? And maybe you're listening to this, you're like, oh, that's bullshit, Karen, right? But let me ask you right now. Have you ever been driving in your vehicle, you look in the rearview mirror and you see a police car, right? So what often happens is the response. You're like, oh shit, you're like, maybe your heart starts to beat a little bit faster, maybe your palms get sweaty, you're like, what did I do? You know, it's this funny thing that we think we're gonna get pulled over, and maybe we did. Maybe we ran a stoplight, or I don't know, right? You've got I remember with one of our vehicles, they didn't have the plates in the front of the vehicle, I think it was. I think it's in the front. When we got the vehicle, they didn't put, so license plates to be front and back, they didn't have the front one, and I got pulled over. And I was like, couldn't understand why. And they got pulled over. He's like, yeah, it's a ticket. You're supposed to have this. They should have put this on for you. You know, all that kind of stuff. But I remember the getting pulled over, right? And just like, oh my God, my heart's beating. Like, and here's the deal. 99% of the times, we haven't done anything wrong, right? It's not like I mentioned with the plate not being on the front of the vehicle. It's just, we create this story. And it actually creates a physical response, a stress response in our body. Heartbeat faster, we get a little anxious, right? We get a little stressed. And then just at the same thing too, then they speed on by and they're on pursuit of somebody else or like whatever. They go past me and go, oh, thank God, right? And then the thank God thing changes and suddenly we're relaxed again. Our thoughts produce the shifts in our body, and then the shifts in our body, the stress response creates more of that anxiety. It becomes like this loop, right, that we feel stuck in. And I can talk about this so clearly because I know it, because I've been there. Even today, I started to go to a place that doesn't serve me, that is not real. Now, could your thought about something be something that would come true? Maybe you're worried about something in the future? Sure. But when you start to focus on that so succinctly, obsess about it, right? Obsess about it, maybe even feel like you can't stop thinking about it, or it's like taking up all of your thoughts and all of your energy, and then it, you can't create from that space, you can't be present from that space, you can't, So it is easy to let your thoughts run out of control. So what do you do with that, right? What do you do? Well, I think the thing that we often don't do is we don't question our thoughts. We just take it as verbatim, like it's truth. Our ego, fear, mind, whatever label you want to put on it, presents a very good case of letting us know that, oh, this is true. This is what's going to happen. I'll be prepared. The shoe's going to drop. The other shoe's going to drop. Shit's going to go down. Very convincing. But we've never actually taken a look at it, right? We've never actually said, is this really true? This is why, Byron Katie's The Work, also known as Inquiry, is so powerful, because why don't we just question our thoughts? Why don't we just say, is this really true? Because Byron Katie would go on, how does this make me feel when I believe it's the truth? How would I feel if it wasn't true? What are some other possible options than what I'm actually taking a look at right now? And are these maybe more true? It's funny. We might be, I don't know, reading a review about a book or a podcast or something we're purchasing online, and we think we got to research and find out what's the real information, what's real, and yet we take our thoughts as somehow that they're true. But the thing is that ego's feeding us lies all day long, and we can be aware of them. Just be like, oh, ego, thank you for your input. Let me just kind of move that over there, right? No, thank you. I'm not in agreement with that, but thank you for your input. I'm going to focus on what's real. I'm going to be present in this moment. So here's your more tip for today. I want you to journal. What is a thought that you're just running away with right now? What is a thought? Listen, we're all there. We're all there at different times. It is being, constantly diligent, aware. I'm looking for another word right now. See if it comes out. I want to say militant. It's not militant, but just like aware. right? Aware of these things that are coming in. It is okay. It will never really stop happening. It's just your awareness becomes more astute with it, right? Your awareness becomes more astute. So what is the thought that you're letting run away with you right now? Are you letting it kind of, control you, right? Create all this stuff inside of you, and it's, it's just a thought. It's just a thought. And the next piece of this is I want you to really question this. Take a look at it. Is that really true? How do I feel when it's true? This is Byron Katie's The Work, right? How do I feel when I believe it to be true? And I'll write this all down, by the way. How would I feel if I didn't believe it to be true? And what are the other possibilities that I'm not really aware of right now? Just question it. The same way you vehicle shop and you're looking at reviews online and you question your purchase, you're questioning whether this is a good decision. How about we do that with our thoughts? And it's got nothing to do with not trusting yourself, because just know when you're hearing this stuff about fear, that's not real. That's ego speaking. That is the small self that wants you to play small, that has to, thinks that everything has to be in fight or flight. That's sympathetic, that's stress response. It has a place at times in our life, but it's driving the bus right now, and you need to put it in the back seat or just kick it the fuck out of the car and allow your higher self to really be in this place of presence and awareness and knowing. So go through and do all of that journaling and see what really comes up with that. And talking about journals, I've got about 50 or so left that I would love to send to you, by the way. Free journals. I've sent out over 600 now to about 20 countries around the world over the last year and a half. I would love to give one to you. So if you would like a free 1-1 more limited edition journal, I want you to head over to drkarenosburn.com/free journal. So that's drkarenosburn.com/free journal. I will send it to you in a couple weeks. You take care of the shipping, a little bit of shipping, and I do all the rest. I'm going to send some cool extra swag with that as well. And number 2, I am taking on 3 one-on-one coaching clients for the summer. We're going to go really deep. You will have me 24/7. This is a brand new style and way of coaching that I've not done before, and I'm realizing is so necessary to have that support around the clock, not just until the next call or the next training. And so this is something that I'm super excited to share with you. And for some of you, it's like, yeah, I want this. I want to really go deep. There's some things that are coming up in my life right now. I'm at a crisis. I need some help with this. I'm at this kind of pivotal point. There is a big problem or a challenge in front of me right now. And I've been trying to do it by myself, and it's not working. And I know I've been there before too, where I got this, I can do this. And then it's like, you know what? I surrender. I need help. Let me help. So let me actually, have someone invest in myself, have someone help me with this, and probably do it way easier. Definitely do it easier than the time I'm trying to do it all by myself. So if this calls to you, and these would be for women that, again, are at that kind of at a crisis point, or man, if this doesn't turn around, there's a lot of things that are going to happen as a result of it, right? It's going to cost me more. It's going to be consequences. It's going to have all these different effects on my life, and enough. It's time for me to invest in me and to learn the tools on how to do this and to get there quickly in one-on-one coaching. And I'm ready, you're ready to invest in yourself to make that happen. The time, the energy, the money, and we're going to go deep for these 3 months. And I would be excited and honored to have you be one of those 3. So if this is calling to you, what I want you to do is this. Email me, drkarenosburn@gmail.com, drkarenosburn, drkarenosburn@gmail.com, and say, I'd like to apply. I will send you the application, because it is by application, and we will begin that process with you, sister. So I will talk to the next episode. A life of more is one step away, and really realizing that your thoughts do not have to run your life every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.